Alright, welcome back to, excuse me, By the Grace of the Gods, Anime Review, episode number 7. We're here discussing the opening 2 episodes of Season 2, which also happen to be episodes 13 and 14 of the series. Basically, there's something interesting though. So, when they aired the second season, they waited about 3 years before releasing a Season 3. Like, it was actually more like a little over 2 years later, like 2 years and a month later. So roughly 25 months later, we get a Season 2. And it has the same exact amount of episodes as Season 1. So basically, we start out with this, like, oh, let's just remind people like who these characters are, because it's been a couple years. We see Ryoga, we see the twins, we see pretty much all the current staff that are pretty much at the laundromat, which apparently, like, they have a proper break room now, which they didn't have that in Season 1. And there was discussion in this episode, and the first episode, and the second one, of possibly opening a second store, which was something that was hinted at least suggested back in the previous season of the show, which kind of glad they brought up this plot idea, which of course basically we'll get to that. By the way, Duke's family, not in the episode. They are mentioned. I think you get a chance to see some flashback images of them. Of course, you see Erlina, basically the female lead of the show. She is seen at the school she's going to, this magical school that she is going to, because she has to go there by the age of 12. I'm assuming it's been close to about a year since the previous season, because I'm assuming Ryoga is probably 12 by this point. Presumably, yes. So, they of course record profits, and they also have this thing in this episode, following one, basically about, well, people trying to claim that, oh, their service is bad, trying to fraudulate them. Basically, first it was 2 guys that catch for easily, and of course next episode, same thing happened, where a guy claimed that basically the service ruined his shirt. And Ryoga looks at the show like, yeah, this is cut with a knife. This is basically bogus. He even shows everybody like, yeah, the slimes don't have teeth. They're just slimes. And then he tries to punch him. So Ryoga, and this is, by the way, this is a 12-year-old kid giving a full-grown man a judo flip. Yep, a judo flip. Yeah, this was something to see. And of course, taken to custody. And of course, also, they do experiment about, oh, let's make some new glass for the windows of the first floor building, which they agreed to, no problem. And of course, yes, and of course, also there's new slime that makes its debut here, a medical slime. Excuse me, this slime was created by pure accident. When Ryoga accidentally dropped on the floor of his little house inside the mine, because it was always going to be near the mine. Nope, he put it inside the mine for some weird reason. Maybe he's gotten used to basically having his house inside of a cave, similar to what he did when the show first started. So, he eats up it and becomes a medical slime, creating all these particular type of medicine. So he talks to the businessman known Sage, where creating bottles, but had to register with the Chemist Guild. Yes, the Chemist Guild. So basically, at this point, he's registered with the Merchants Guild, the Adventurers Guild, and now, and of course, Beast Tamer Guild, obviously, and now he has registered with the Chemist Guild, and, well, he makes medicine for, well, adventurers, because they're basically on dangerous stuff, so why not? And of course, there's this discussion of possibly still bring up second store, and also the whole fraudulent claim thing is that because, well, they do investigating, apparently there was a rival of the head of the Beast Tamer Guild who doesn't like the fact that he's thinking of exploit, they think that basically that stuff like the slime stuff. So basically we have Ryoga being tailed by several thugs, where he's able to take him out no problem. We do see briefly the Guildmaster of the Adventure Guildmaster here takes in custody, and also they come with the interesting idea of him beating up the thugs by drawing them out, and then basically charging them for healing them. He of course gets paid for it, obviously. And because of the fact this one store is bringing so much profit, in fact, they've hired 3 new researchers. Yes, believe it or not, they hired slime researchers to this place. You're like, really? Yes, really. The names are Tony, Labia, and Koken, which for some weird reason there is no credit. I've tried looking for the credit for English dub actors. It's for some weird reason. I'm not sure why this is. This is kind of weird, but for some reason they, and I'm not exactly sure for the reason for this. So basically, okay, yeah. So there's no credit for English dub actor. I've tried finding it. So unless somebody can find who the heck these people are, I would like to know who these people are. And of course, they talk about the research into the slimes and all the food stuff basically evolving, which is pretty simple stuff here. They of course bring a bodyguard into the store too, and his name is, if I can find his name here. Okay, his name is Dorsey, and well, he doesn't speak in these 2 episodes. I look at him, I'm like, wait, is that a Milliken? Because he had dark skin, red eyes. Yeah, that's a Milliken. They don't claim he's a Milliken. It just, by appearance-wise, he looks like a Milliken. Because, well, because the skin color and the eyes. So, he doesn't speak. And, of course, they have this testing of, like, oh, like, all the thug stuff. And eventually, when the rumors are all handled, they go visit the head of the Merchants Guild, where she's like, oh, are you here to open your second store? Here's the locations, and he just proceeds to, well, who knows what location is, and it goes next town, and in the episode. I gotta admit, second season starts out really good too. I do like the fact also, Elena, where she's sending him letters via basically her bird. Almost like a messenger pigeon. Yes, this has been common in many forms of anime. Heck, this even have it in live action movies. And normally it's been done by a messenger pigeon. We usually have like a little. It basically, I've never seen this in person. I've only seen this in live action films, or at least stuff like live action, and of course in animation. But they basically roll, and this is basically kind of interesting now. This basically is like almost like basically a post paper that somehow she's able to roll up, be so small to put in this tube, because normally these tubes usually have these very skinny pieces of paper that go in there. My guess is she must have rolled really thin, and it looks like basically like a bigger tube than usual, so she must have basically folded it like several times, and they're all put inside of the tube. And of course he reads it, and of course he was running back anyways. Yep. But that's pretty much it particular video discussed here. Just overall great episode. So please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to notifications. I will see you tomorrow. More videos of By the Grace of the Gods. Will it become a corner? You'll find out and see if I get a chance to do the one. Okay? See you tomorrow. Bye.